Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa.
Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa. Go ahead. What's your name, sir?
Hello, Jim. This is Rich, Romeo India Charlie Hotel, located in Garrison, New York. Back on 417, you were nice enough to pick me up and provide a test. That day, I discovered I was having an issue with my foot switch. I know you speak to a lot of people. There was a thumping going on, just in case it jogs your memory. And today I'm running a different microphone, and I did have a question. I'm running one of the 7300s, and totally agree with you. It's real easy to get the audio sounding reasonable on this thing because they made it so easy. You can't. There's not too much on the menu, and that's good for me. So. Jim, you're doing about an S9, a little over S9 here, and let's just make sure you hear me okay. And then I had a question on the filter. Hang on one second here. Okay, I think I moved the filter by mistake. When it comes to the sharp and the soft, I wonder what your recommendation is on that.
Is this a transmit control?
I think it is, yeah.
All right, start with 1. Give me a 10 count. Start with 1, and at between 5 and 6, shift to the other location or the other position.
You know, now that I just realized, it might only be I don't know. So it said it might be a receive function. So I might have to take that back. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, position 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, position 2.
I didn't notice anything shifting at all on the audio, Roger.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think I realized it's just on the receiver. So that was a question I answered myself. But what's going to be good, and if I do find myself in this particular recording that you've made, and I really appreciate what you do for the hams, it's a great thing. I can then compare it to the vlog of, it was a few days after the 17th of April, and that's a great way for me to sort of self-test myself through a very good system you've got, and I love your station. It looks great. Jim, back over to you.
Thank you, Rich. I just have a question there about your audio. Now, it's very close in the dynamic range department, but just wanted to follow up on that. You are running that compressor at a 3. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, correct. What do you suggest?
Okay, 3 is fine. Then move to your ALC and take a look, and we want to be mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC adjustment by way of mic gain control.
Okay, stand by a second. Okay, ALC is pretty hot. Okay, so I was at 18%. This is a dynamic mic that I actually made. So if you want mid-scale, wow, I'm way down to 5% now from 18%. It's still throwing quite a bit of ALC, but it's not going beyond the red marker. Over.
Roger, but it's going at least mid-scale and headed towards 2/3. Is that a Roger?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Even at 5% here, in fact, okay, here at 2%. So here's 2%. This is Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa. This is 5%. This is Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa. This is 10%. This is Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa. And back up to where I started at 18%, Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa. Over.
Wow, that sounds nice. Just as long as you're not, exceeding the speed limit on your ALC. You want to stay within, the guidelines there. Probably the hottest you want to be is 2/3. I think you could go higher, but you start running towards maybe some distortion, a tad of distortion, and I would rather have it just absolutely clean. So if you stay mid-scale to 2/3, your audio would be pristine. Roger?
Okay. Well, while I was running through those percentages, was there a dramatic difference at all?
There was about looked to me about a 3 dB boost from your lower settings to your higher settings. But if those are by way of pushing the ALC. I didn't hear any necessary increased distortion, which is, interesting. So where you were at the hottest was still not, there was no detectable distortion, Roger.
Okay, yeah. My voice tends to be, quite loud, and, I basically have to learn to perhaps not get right up on the microphone either, although you tend to lose some of the low end. But I believe this is a 34 millimeter large diaphragm element in a sort of, what do you call it, breadboarded, like a 87 Neumann circuit. So that's what you're hearing on the 7300, over.
Well, but the difference is U87 is a condenser microphone, whereas I think you said you were working a dynamic.
I'm actually a condenser is what I meant. Yeah, Roger.
Oh, Roger. I would think that you might be able to get a little bit more bottom end there if you would be up to a test and you know where your tone control settings are for the 7300. If you would go to the tone controls and let me know what your current EQ situation is on that 7300.
I have the bass at -3 and the treble on +3, over.
Okay, just for kicks, come up to flat on your bass control.
Okay, this is Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa with 0 at on the bass level. Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa, over.
Okay, I think that sounds a lot better. You were very much in the top end, and that gave you a little more body. Now the thing is, with that more body, you probably would need a foam windscreen if conditions permit you to get one of those, Roger.
Yeah, and I do have a foam windscreen. Are you getting plosives on this thing?
Just a little mouth noise, very, very, very minute. But if you have a windscreen, go ahead and put it on.
I've been I've been running it with the windscreen from the beginning, over.
Roger. Now, is that slipped over the front and you're working precisely into the front of that microphone?
Yeah, it's a side address mic, and it is over the the top front. So I'm speaking into basically the side of the windscreen versus the front of the the top of the windscreen, where an SM58 would be addressed, over.
Yes, okay, that is what I was hearing. You see, the front of that windscreen, the foam windscreen, is designed for front articulation, and it's very thin on the sides. So that's why I was hearing a slight, mouth noise, because you're working it from the side. Just out of curiosity, try working that mic from the top directly in. Let me just hear what that sounds like.
Okay, Jim. This is Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa. Yeah, it's certainly not the way the element is positioned, but this is from the front of the microphone. Over.
Roger, not too bad. Not quite as heavy on the bottom end, but now come to the side. Address it from the side.
Yeah, the other thing I can do is I've got one of those stocking round additional windscreens I could actually mount to my boom arm in front of this windscreen. It would give it some added sideway protection, over.
Roger. Nothing. It was nothing to to be concerned about. Very, very slight mouth noises is what I was hearing, and not a bunch of that, but enough that seemed to indicate to me that the foam windscreen was not there, and it was there, but you were working into the side of it, and it's designed for the foam windscreen is designed for front attack, and at the front of that foam windscreen is about twice to 3 times as thick as it is on the sides, Roger?
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think of it before, but I would agree that this particular kind of windscreen was definitely designed for a front addressing, like a standard mic versus a side address. So, listen, Jim, I really appreciate you spending the time with me. Again, I'm sure I'm not the only one that greatly appreciates what you do, and I thank you for taking the time and being patient to help me out, and always good to then replay it on the YouTube channel. So enjoy your weekend, stay well, stay safe. This is Whiskey Zulu 2 Papa. Thank you again.
Roger, Roger, Rich. I'm seeing activity down to 100 cycles there now on your audio on my spectrum analyzer. Not a bunch, but I think the curve is nice. It's fuller with that bass frequency being brought up to flat, fuller sound than where it was. So, try it like that and see if anybody salutes. We'll catch you later. Thanks for checking in. 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.